MoneyBoy. Trade. MoneyBoy. Trade. Private jet flights overseas. Damn pieces coming by the week. You should come in just like that.
I told him that.
Cameras everywhere. This is cool.
I know. I love it.
You ready, Joe? I'm ready.
I feel like a star.
3. Come on, 2.
What's your name on Facebook? M something. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh no! See, he tore his on down, and then my cup was just.
Did you give it water?
Right.
Just was missing something else.
I know. I should have bought a bottle. I wasn't thinking.
It just came like that. Just a little juice box it came in.
I should have bought a bottle. Something told me to, but I wasn't listening.
You can fade that out. You want me to fade out? I got it. Your mic is hot, too. This podcast has been brought to you by Urban Mogul Square Network at mogulsquaremedia.com, besttimedjservice.com, and forthepeopleentertainment.com. All right, before we get into today, you know we got to come in and let the big man from upstairs come in and do his part. So, Tara.
Welcome, Father. So, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil forever and ever. Father, we thank you for opening the ears to hear and the hearts to receive what we have for them today. Lord, use us as your vessel to speak to your people, Father God. Touch them in a way that you've never touched them before, Father God. Father, we ask these prayers and blessings in the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen, amen, and amen.
Amen.
So
it begins.
Only baby Black Jesus, man.
He ain't white.
Oh, man.
So
Look,
it begins.
I can't even get into good afternoon to the people first.
Here we
Hey,
go.
wait a minute. Good afternoon.
And we have-
This is the On the Scene podcast.
Yes.
I'm J-Dub. J-Dub.
Jayhawk.
Charlie.
We are on the scene. We coming out here gangbanging with the truth from the main man Trey here. He's a fellow podcaster from the show Toxic Masculinity. So everybody make some noise for the man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Welcome.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
No, it ain't from white Jesus. It's not from white Jesus. It's from the God who's a spirit. He doesn't have a color. It's to God. No, he ain't white. My God is not white.
Wait, let's get the holy waters. Wait, let me just.
No, he ain't white. What do you mean? White is not. It's no color, but he's not a color. You can't define him as white. He's a spirit.
Just regionally to be regionally. You can't say he's white.
No, he's not white.
He could not be white in that region. No matter if he was, he'd have been brown anyway. It's
Exactly.
over there.
Right.
But no,
the Bible says.
would have been
Yes.
looking guy.
They historically say the ethnicity of Jesus would not have been Caucasian.
It couldn't have been. He had hair of wool. It's written in the Bible that they preach.
We all come to know and love. We understand that it's packaging from those who wish to sell it to those who wish to pay for it, because we all know the Bible is one of the most sold books of all time, right? We all know this, and we know who got all the money and stuff, right? We know this, right? Okay. So once we know who we sell it to, they got to make sure that the wrapping makes sure it fits. Okay, look, man.
So this is why I say this
I love it. Let him
This
talk.
is the most
I'm excited.
controversial man that I know.
brought this right on the show.
Right on already.
I mean, you started off with prayer. I hadn't had a prayer in a minute, so I just had to praise white Jesus.
Right?
Right? Y'all on me for wanting to think that Jesus is white.
Oh, okay.
Well, we didn't.
He can be. He could be whatever color you want him to be.
Who are down that? I didn't do that. Okay, well,
I know race war, man. These white people like,
hey man,
he is white.
So all of our viewers out there of the Caucasian persuasion, we love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Okay, let me go.
Man, just know that we love y'all, and
We love y'all.
It's all from a place of love.
Yes.
and all that. We are a show about bringing on upstarts and entrepreneurs and successful people locally. And before we let the tea get going and make it a Boston party, because you know my man's is getting ready to have some things to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The expressions
By our guests.
by our guests are
It's not the views of the party
of our guests and hosts on the show.
Write it down.
Right now, we don't have lawyers to make sure I have all the stuff.
after me.
Just know, don't be trying to
Come
work on
after
this.
So before we get into it, guys, so I like to introduce M. Payne on our show, and he's coming from Memphis, Tennessee. So
Big ups to Memphis.
Yes,
big up to Memphis. Yeah. One of the things, and me and him had a really good conversation a couple of months ago. Just the dynamic of how it is, what's going on up here compared to like what's going on down south, and how me and him were kind of going back and forth with a couple of different subjects. Where and here's what I like about him is that he is brutally honest, and he doesn't sugarcoat the main issue. See, a lot of people want to dance around the issue
Right.
and not just call it out because they don't want to hurt feelings or feel like they're insulted.
Be
But-
politically correct.
Correct.
As they say.
Well, I always do it to be tactful because we don't want to alienate anybody. But that is our platform.
The truth is what it is.
On your show, Toxic Masculinity, what can we expect? What is it about? What are we jumping into when we tune in?
It's a safe place for men to be men.
Okay.
We
okay.
talk like we do at the barbershop.
Okay.
We hold each other accountable for the. I was about to say. I can't. We hold each other accountable for the crap that we do that's not up to task. And anytime a woman may want to come in there and overstep her boundaries, we have to put the Kevin Samuels smack down.
Oh my God, but you have a woman on your show. You have a woman on your show that's a part of your show, right?
And she enjoys my program.
Oh, I love her. Chit Chat, shout out to Chit
Well,
Chat.
see, you're a like-minded female. Then you're not the ones that we be talking about.
Oh, okay.
You're not the ratchet ones that we talking about.
I talk about that all the time. It's a place and a time for women to speak when men are talking. That you're absolutely true.
I don't mind women speaking when men are around. Just be logical.
Right.
Like, don't come in there with some emotional shit.
Right.
Hey, be free.
Don't come in like just saying something to try to irritate us. I notice
Right.
women do that a lot. They just.
But is it because
think
they're
it's
irritated,
irritation.
or is it because they're offended as a whole of women, or do you think it's just that personal?
Wait.
Speaking from a woman.
They're doing it to be irritated.
Maybe you should ask a woman this question.
It's more or less not that we have a problem with the girl there or it's some sort of elitist thing. It's when the conversation gets taken over by things not grounded in facts, a lot of emotions and how you feeling and that,
Who hurt you?
and then we can't get to a logical explanation or a conversation about matters. And then the feelings get hurt because we be like, okay, we're trying to keep you on task and you going overboard and doing something ridiculous, and now we gotta make you feel bad. And Kevin Samuels and stuff like that, they've been really good on being able to do that. But it's like we trying to keep you on task, we trying to get you to show something, but you hurt by something we said when we're trying to create a forum to discuss, because that's what this is. So I see it. I've seen what Camille Samuels has got himself in trouble for because what he is he's an image consultant. So he goes out there and he goes on to break down the woman's image and what she looks like, and then says, "This is what you want to shoot for, but you are not making your lifestyle. You're currently able to traject that in any kind of way outside of a miracle." And then when faced with reality, they be like, my mama always told me I was cute. All these times, I got 1 billion people in my inbox, and you got 1 billion reasons for why, and
you still single.
It'd be fickle. So it'd be like, and then, you have other L's on your report card that don't warrant that guy's attention because you just not going to be in that room with him, and it'd be like that. And I don't think men want to get on women. It look bad when a man shouts them down.
It's fun.
It's refreshing to a lot of guys that don't do it because they know it's such a tongue-in-cheek, me too, he said this and it made me feel, and now you lose your job kind of environment for men now. So when we get these kind of platforms and we see these guys go, all right, look, I'm not trying to sleep with you. You already paid me to be here, or you wanted to get on my show for exposures and viewership. All right, now I'm going to give you the unadulterated truth about you. This is what we see. These are the things you're willing to admit to. And now you're feeling bad because you don't like what what you look like in the mirror.
What everybody else sees.
Right.
So for them girls, you're gonna catch the razor blade because that's just what it is. But for other people that are intelligent, that are here, that are on the level, and you're like, okay, this is what we on. It always seems to work out. So, girls, when y'all get on these shows and y'all start going live, like, hey, I'm on TV. Make sure you do more listening and talking, baby, because the world's watching.
So Impe, I got a question for you. So, because I know you get a lot of viewers from all over the country. Actually, it's not just the South, but I don't want to say like a ratio of like 1 to 10 or whatever it is. But your show produces a lot of heat. You get a lot of smoke, and I would probably say, because you have a lot of people, going on at one time like the band. That's what's interesting about the show because everyone's just kind of like da 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 da, and then you gotta kind of like facilitate the conversations,
Bring
right?
it back, reel it back in.
So, but I mean, on the level of the truths that you really do be speaking. As harsh as they are, you usually have like, I would say 20 or 30% of people who are like, dude, you're spot on. Like, you're like, this will be a solution.
The subject recently has been that you kind of
Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown.
They've been upset at me about Kwame Brown.
Okay.
That's been real controversial.
I've been saying that he's acting like a bully and a brat, and my folks are upset with me because they support him. I support him too, but again, he ain't perfect.
Do you think? So why do you think now? After he was being criticized for all these years, so what switched now?
What switched with him?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, I actually give people a kind of a backdrop of the whole Kwame Brown situation. Everyone damn near should know, but I don't think everyone knows.
17-year-old kid drafted out of high school to go pro. He didn't live up to his potential, and that's pretty much it. 20 years later, he heard somebody make a comment about him. He said something back to the guy, went viral. And he hasn't stopped since then. It's like he see more people watching, and he just going on a rant.
Right.
And I've just been like, I support you, but some of the stuff you saying is kind of weird, and it's crybaby-ish, and it don't make no sense.
Well, it's like for this guy who we got to see the bloopers. It's like I didn't like when Stephen A. Smith went out there and put out that little blooper reel on the home. We knew that somebody was finna do it. Why got to be your own people, man?
He attacked Stephen A. for 2 weeks though. He kept calling that man's name.
I mean, I understand. I know why it had to happen.
He called for the nigga, and the nigga showed up.
I just wish he would have got skipped.
You got what you asked for.
Somebody else Somebody else will do it instead of the man. But we understand, like Kwame was a kid coming in, and he was supposed to get traded around. He was not supposed to be with Jordan. They said that the trade with the Elton Brand was supposed to happen, and there's a lot of speculation. But he's still at his side.
You really think Jordan would have did business with Chicago, the team he walked off on?
Man, all you can say is I got all of these connections there. This is Jordan. He's the Chicago Messiah at the time. No, don't go there, church people. It was just
talking about basketball. Talking about basketball.
Basketball guys. You know what I'm saying? Goats. Whatever.
So I guess in to subcategorize this topic, the whole Kwame Brown was upset because he was basically saying like Charlemagne the God, and they bring black men down instead of like just promoting them, or
He's just you get tired. That there's been people that is worse than Kwame, and they always refer to Kwame as a big bust or something like this, and it's like, I mean, after 20 years, like dog, I ain't playing.
That nigga ain't special for being called out for being sorry.
Hey man,
Right.
well I just say this: NBA players is special. Now there's levels when you
levels.
when
Yeah,
you get there. You know what I'm saying?
you have to have a certain talent to
exceptional
get
to
to
make
the
it to the
NBA.
NBA.
You have to have some type of talent.
Sometimes it's politics. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's teams. Like
It's the organization.
Right. LeBron did go out there and start constructing teams, and you got to say, yo, the next wave of players, they gonna have lots of movement.
Yeah.
Them getting locked down to a hometown favorite type of situation, that might be rare.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I always look at the Scottie Pippen situation. Dude, he did it to himself, but he wasn't thinking outside the box. Why would you take what was it, like something stupid? It was like he was
million for like 8 or 9
years. Yeah, it was like 20 million for like 10 years or something.
Yo.
He's the second best
8
player.
or 9 million to somebody who ain't had nothing is a lot of damn money.
So would
And
you
have to
say-
guarantee it?
Would you say,
Win, lose or draw? If I don't get the chance to play any basketball, you telling me I'm finna make this?
here's the question.
Right.
Here's the question, because we're talking about bust, right? Would Scottie Pippen be a financial bust of the NBA?
No, because he went on and
Financially?
he got that
He
deal, but
signed one bad contract.
But he
and after
still-
that, he got his money from Portland and Houston.
yeah, they
Yeah,
both paid him out.
But
over
at
100
that time,
million
though, man.
I mean, the first deal sucks because he was a rookie and everything, coming off and showing that he could be an all-star and everything. He had to eat that first deal, and then they went on. They cashed him out. Now it sucks that he couldn't get that paycheck and get that longevity with the team that he became successful with.
Correct.
And they could have used him because he's younger than Michael Jordan. You got to remember, he was a bit younger, so he could have came in and been the next face. And they decided to just disband the whole thing.
So it's the organization.
For vanity's sake. So it's definitely the organization. So you look at all them players that they picked up, all those other players that could have went out, got more championships, could have got traded to contender teams at least, and made the league different. Right. Just those circumstances could affect the homie alone. You know what I'm saying? Like he was talking about in the video, Gilbert Arenas, because everybody else is telling him that I got small hands. I got the quickest feet in the world, but he ain't throwing me lobs.
Right.
There's money off the table because I'm incentivized by getting interceptions, by making these dunks and stuff. This is the man. Now, this is what he's saying. I'm
what?
like, it's
What's
like
going
that.
on here?
Happening.
What's going on here?
Sound like a whole bunch of excuse making going on.
Now,
I was thinking.
right.
If you are good at your job,
Right.
they're gonna play you.
Right.
Right.
But what is okay? So Dennis Rodman, though we know him is to be like the greatest defender, rebounder. Now, if you quantify him not putting points on the board, because it's a scoring league now, could he play in this league now and still be
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Because
he
PJ
can
Tucker's
rebound.
doing it.
Yeah.
Because
You know
PJ
what
Tucker is
Brown
that guy.
couldn't do? Rebound.
I
7
get
feet
it.
tall.
I get it, but that also depends on the right team and all that.
Rebound ain't got nothing to do with the team.
Man,
Ah, no.
That's part of the game. That's part of the game. game.
It does have everything to do with the team, though, man.
If you out there on the floor and there's rebounds to be got, what's stopping you from getting them?
But
Other
would you-
people.
hold on.
What if you
Russell Westbrook out there getting triple doubles dang near every game. He's the shortest dude on the
It's
floor.
true. I ain't finna
It's
sit here.
effort.
I'm not sitting here saying that Kwame should be mayor or that this man is some sort of all-star in the secrets now. I'm not sitting here. I'm not finna back this man other than what he said. But I'm just saying, y'all. He's a 17-year-old kid in a league full of men. He's the only kid. He Bow Wow or somebody in a Like Mike movie playing this game around the greats. He's one of the greatest of all time. And he didn't just play with Jordan. He played with Kobe too. Like he was with both of them. You know what I'm saying? So he had the chance with him, and it just didn't pan out. So we, sorry, bro. You wasn't that great, and yeah, they picked you up first round, and maybe if you'd have got picked in the second round, you might have been seen as a second round steal.
I think so. But they hyped this man up so much.
Man, it'd be like that.
Brian and I brought this up last night. You remember Jason Collins?
Yes.
He stayed in the league just as long as Kwame Brown. Who's better?
Jason Collins, they both terrible.
See,
but
that's you call Jason Collins the better player. And don't nobody even know Jason Collins because he was a career backup.
yeah,
Career
He was
backup,
the
yeah.
number one draft pick. None of that.
it just be like that. It'd be like that.
Darko Milicic.
Man,
Well, here go his 15 minutes of fame
too.
right
Why
now.
did they
Here
say
go Kwame
Darko
Brown,
Milicic?
15 minutes of
Hey,
fame right
man.
I talk about Darko all the time. He's a dairy farmer or some crap now up there in Canada.
Right, yeah,
Oh,
man.
yeah?
Goes getting paid as a dairy farmer?
Yes.
Yeah, man. And
He
he,
had to turn back to a regular.
That's all right. He had a backup plan.
I guess. Oh, yeah, he got his money.
Right.
yeah,
He got his money.
yeah. I mean, it ain't like Kwame hurting. The man he's like, I was supposed to make 80 million, and I only made 20 million. It's like 20 million is still a lot of money.
That's
Right.
20 million
He
is a
made
lot.
64 million though.
Oh, see that.
He was trying to compare like the contracts he got to the inflation that happened years later, like when
Right.
DeAndre
Right.
Jordan and them.
Right.
But when he was coming in, he actually got the better end of the stick because they were giving like a lot more money in your first 3-4 years.
Right. I mean, either way, man, it's like Kwame, bro, we see your career. You did your thing. You better than a lot of people. You know, if any of us tried to D you up in PE right now, we'd be in trouble.
Yeah, he get me.
But
he get me, but I still get a couple buckets.
You know, yeah, and I don't, and I've seen players that I've deemed I'm like, yo, this dude is worse than Kwame Brown. I've seen some guys that was pretty bad, but
Man.
That's sad that you compare the bad to
but they try to make him to be like the litmus test, and he not really.
Right.
You know
Well,
what
he's
I'm
the
saying?
second worst in the past 50 years, according to the litmus test. And
Oh, wow.
size.
Damn. Well, you know, that's that hype wagon, man. Yeah.
Hey,
What I'm saying,
man.
he was not real with those stats. Trying to talk about analytics made you look worse if you break those out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Per games played, minutes played.
How
Yeah.
tall you are, how much you weigh. You ain't never gave more than 7 rebounds. Russell Westbrook averaging triple doubles. At 6 feet 1.
It's just talent, man.
And that kid fast though.
Talent.
But he
Talent.
had the talent. He was, I don't know. I think a lot of Kwame's issue was he was injured a lot. Every time he
That
was
too.
on, he was
Yeah.
injured. Now that's a great reason to say I ain't live up to my potential because I was injured. But stop blaming it on everybody else. It's Michael Jordan and Dane Woman. Well, when
That's
Jordan-
his story he's
but
telling,
when-
though.
So
but
in
he's
other words,
saying-
you was in the way.
But when Jordan left, what did he
If
do?
you kept getting injured, you
Right.
was in the way.
What did he do when Jordan left?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I can see how, as an 18-year-old kid or whatever, how old he was, coming into a league, how organization or players around you can kind of affect your play or playing time.
Hey.
I can see that.
Kobe played with Shaq his rookie year, and Eddie Jones and all them other cats. He was airballing. He got laughed at. He got talked about, but he was good, and so he overcame it.
But don't you think that's a different culture of the LA
think
Lakers
it's a different
compared
player.
to
Jordan.
No.
The Wizards.
Say it again.
Come on.
Say it again.
Different
It's a different player.
LeBron James.
It's a different
Come on.
player. It's not the different culture.
Man,
High
LeBron
school
James
player.
But you gotta put
is
it
Karl
all
Malone
together.
size.
You
We just
just
need to
saying.
know that.
But you gotta put it all together, man. You have to put it all together.
Tracy McGrady. I can keep going on with these.
Trace
high school-
McGrady was just a stud, bro.
Out of high school. That's what I'm saying.
But
Apparently, Kwame was not a stud. It did not. It didn't work for him.
right, I'm not saying he was ever a stud, but I'm saying that I believe certain situations may have caused him not to be as good as he could be.
Yeah, it's like his talent situation.
Yeah.
Look here. Oh, man.
You
So,
have it or you
Kwame, if you need to go ahead and get your next live rant on, just know.
Oh, he just.
Right. He gonna
I've
be
been
on
calling
you.
him. I've been keeping it real with him for a week, but he probably gonna be quiet today. My guy just got on him. He probably gonna be quiet today.
You don't want no more.
Hey, Kwame, don't come attack our show.
Hey,
man.
man.
We don't want no
Hey,
more.
right
We don't want no
here.
more.
If you got a vodka to sell or something, man, we'll come on. You know what? You may not have been an MVP in the league.
Forget what they talking about. Come on and come attack our show. We
You know
want
what I'm
15
saying?
minutes of that fame you getting too.
I
Hey,
want
man.
some of your mama's cooking, sir.
We will
What?
We will help you sell
I
that
want some of
vodka
that
to the
fame,
fullest,
too.
especially if it's some more of this mimosa stuff that we were drinking. You know what I'm saying? Some T-shirts or something. FUBU might be cheap or something.
Wow.
Steve and they asking for the other 14 minutes of that blooper reel.
Okay, what subject we got next? Because I don't need Kwame over here smoking
Exactly.
hookah, laying
Right.
I do.
Look at these suckers. I can picture it now. Look at these suckers.
I got a hookah. Come on.
Want my mama's
Right.
cooking?
I bring my hookah.
I bring my hookah. We can chill out.
We sitting out here, be getting our
Talk about
man,
we can go play by play where you went wrong. Come on.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Oh.
Hey, y'all remember this man 7 foot?
What that mean? David fought giants. I don't have no problem with no
I'm
fight.
just gonna be like,
Matt Barnes said he want all the smoke. So
Barnes don't want
Matt
smoke.
Barnes
Hey,
wants
wait a
smoke.
minute.
Man, when did Mike Barnes become
Matt
tough?
Barnes is tough, bro. This dude drove across the country to give hands to a guy that
Yeah,
mess
boy,
around with a
across
chicken
the country, that
dick.
nigga drove.
Bro, Matt Barnes is soft, bro. I don't know when
dude is
did Matt
professional.
Barnes become tough?
Hey man, this dude.
When did Matt Barnes become tough?
Man.
Do you remember that Bucks game when we had John Henson, him and Matt Barnes got into it, and John Henson got ejected, and then Matt Barnes wanted to follow him into the locker room? John Henson can't even lift 185 pounds. He would have did up Matt Barnes. Come on, man, Matt Barnes.
Size means something.
I mean,
You want to know why?
Size is just
Hey,
Size.
size is
It's
dumb.
That's all.
Uh,
That's just a intimidation. That don't scare me. Your size don't mean nothing.
Wait,
Hey,
what?
you gotta have
Wait,
heart.
hold on.
Your
now.
size
Hold
don't
on
mean nothing.
now,
I done
Tara.
walked with plenty of people that's bigger than me. Don't let this small frame fool you.
That
I'll
just
let you
means they
know.
can't fight.
No, that don't mean that. That don't mean
That just means they
that
couldn't
that
fight.
I can.
Yeah,
That don't
but,
mean you
but
can't
what I'm
fight.
saying, but don't pick on the bigger person that can fight.
No,
Right.
I ain't afraid. I don't care what your
was
size
always-
is.
What they say, you got to show me.
Right. You got to
For all this audacity, you got to show me.
Hey,
I love it. I love it.
never fight someone who's stocky and short. You will get handled. I've
That's why I say,
Willing
don't
to
let
put
this
hands
small
with you.
frame fool you. In a minute,
Hey man,
I'll get with you.
So man, how was the COVID situation in Memphis handled?
It was, I would say it was normal, but it was kind of weird for a minute because they put a lot of the bars and stuff out of work because they were saying that they had to show that they sold more food than alcohol, and that was kind of crumbling businesses that didn't need to be crumbled.
So they had to show that they sold more food than the alcohol.
Yep.
That's crazy.
If they were a bar, they had to rebrand themselves and show that they were selling more food than actually
To stay
alcohol.
open. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
That was and as we know, Memphis is like a huge tourist spot, like huge. And I know that man, That's all I like to do, man. Just go down to Bill Street.
I mean, because I love Atlanta. I got to see if this Memphis is just as amazing.
Oh, Memphis is what's up. That's where my family's
Where
from.
we
Memphis
all
is what's
cousins.
up.
See,
Come on down.
Atlanta, Memphis is just like Atlanta. Atlanta's
Yeah,
just like Memphis.
just the same.
see. I just got to visit now. I got to. J-Dub's on the way. I'm coming, Memphis.
Bill Street, go on, hang out.
What's
They
up?
got, they got a security fee on Beale Street now because
Oh, do they?
got the shooting the other day.
Oh wow. Everybody acting a fool. It's like they got guns
It's
just
not
laying in the street.
everybody, it's niggas.
Well,
Let you clarify. let you clarify.
Bleep.
No,
We
don't
bleeped
bleep that.
it.
He telling the truth.
well,
Bleep that.
you
I
know,
don't like that he wants to beep the truth.
well,
I'm not saying don't bleep the truth.
Are you
Just
with
bleep
the
the
go along
word.
gang-
Bleep the
are
word.
you with
No,
the
you
go
gotta
along,
call
get
them what
along
they
gang
are.
That's
what they are.
I don't call them that.
And
Are you
no,
are
no.
you working for the man?
When he says that, he's not just referring to what they say, the
man.
black culture. Niggas is generalization of people that act retarded,
that have
white,
to-
black,
they have to be
Orient,
black.
Hispanic, whatever.
Well, I was talking about black.
I mean, what?
Oh,
what-
no.
See?
When I say niggas, I'm referring to all. 'Cause not
Let's
just black
go
people can
to
be
all,
niggas.
but the
Right.
niggas that shot up and got Memphis to
Oh,
have
okay.
a security fee,
They was black.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So,
like
so
most of the people that do
it's,
crazy stuff.
It's, hey, Chris Rock, if y'all need a good description of what we discussing right here, y'all go ahead and check out Chris Rock's Bigger Blacker. He has a discussion about black folks and niggas. And then from there, you'll get all the reference
there's
for this
people right now
conversation
that just
you
saying,
need.
"Oh my God." There's
Now,
some
just
people
know-
saying, "Oh my God."
They've seen that
Hey,
shit.
just know today we got a Def Comedy Jam vibe going right now because that's the show we dealing with. We got my man
the
from
guest.
that.
We gotta
we
cater
got
to
a
our
toxic
guest.
masculinity.
Blame me
Yes,
for it.
you.
I made them be this way. It's my fault.
Right. Next
Subscribe to my YouTube channel, MoneyBoy Trey.
Yes.
Subscribe to
I talk like this all the time.
Yes, for the shout out. To the-
man.
Came to pod.
I told you it was gonna be good.
I love it. I love it.
So hey man, so question. And I know you chimed in on the show a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about opportunity zones. And I was able to do a little bit more research myself of how the opportunity zones are in Milwaukee. And we were actually talking about it a little bit last night. Well, we weren't really talking about it, but when you talked about Colleyville, and I was just thinking, man, how nice Colleyville and Germantown, Bartlett, all that is so nice, and resources, everything, police enforcement, everything is nice out there. Then once you move towards the inner city, it's like, shit, it's like,
Whatever.
right. It's
We get
like
the
there's-
leftovers.
Right. So, so in what we were talking about is the opportunity zones here is that yes, you could get a house for cheap that's foreclosed through the city, and you can get tax credits, and you could get all type of basically hookups through the city. But by the time it's all said and done, are you willing to live there?
Right.
Knowing that the city isn't really truly
Rent it out.
putting all the
Do your low income
but-
renting to people.
but that's the difference between Milwaukee is that once you sign on to that house, you have to live there for 5 years.
Oh, with the opportunity, with
Yeah. Oh yeah.
through the
Oh,
opportunity
if you
zone?
get the FHA loan.
No, if you get a Milwaukee property, if you get a
Oh, for the
foreclosed-
Milwaukee, yeah, you do. You do have to
Milwaukee
stay there for 5
property,
years.
you
That
have
you
to
do.
stay there.
Well, you
You
know,
do.
there's,
So now-
loopholes for everything.
Well, I mean there is, but as a home buyer,
Right.
if you have your credit at certain criteria, and do you spend the money and basically damn near build up a brand new house, or do you say, you know what, I can move into this neighborhood ready to go, I could just move in today and not worry about anything.
Why not
That's
just-
why I said the opportunity zone, in my opinion, isn't really feasible because the
Is it
city
just
isn't.
for houses, or can you use the opportunity zone for things like community centers or restaurants and stuff?
You can use it. So like, let's say there's an old bar and the city will say, well, we don't want this to be a bar anymore. We want it to be a shop or whatever, and you can turn it into whatever. But the issue is that neighborhood is so bad, infested with crime and poverty. Do you take on that risk? Because now it's a risk. Now we're talking about business.
Yeah. That's what the white people do when they gentrify.
You got to.
They take that risk.
What you do is you got to link up with a few buyers. And maybe you don't just buy one.
Yeah.
You got to buy 5. You know what I'm saying?
And if you lose one property, that's you still making money off the others.
Right. You got a network that's able to sustain all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's not more than just one buyer. Like a community comes together.
Syndicate. Yeah. Have a syndicate.
Well, they call them like buying groups in real estate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm calling it syndicate.
It's like a mutual.
It is, but
And you don't have to live there.
Just saying it's a mutual.
Just get your mail coming there. You don't gotta live there.
and just in case, before we get too far into it, I just want to know if we've offended anyone. We just want you to cool out with this.
What? Really? Really? Mid interview?
When I interview people, I say, "So what?"
Get your co-host.
Clip to say,
This your co-host.
Dude, just mid interview. Mid interview.
We got this for you right here.
All right, I'm back. I just had to get that out of the way.
Wow.
I love it. I love
It's
it.
the mic drop.
This is live. This is live.
So man, so do you think, because we think, crime, as far as crime here in Milwaukee is been getting worse, and we're gonna get on Mayor Tom Barrett with his, I don't even know what it was that he was trying to sell us. But man, what's going on in Memphis, man? Is crime going down? Is it just shit getting worse?
Every year we are breaking a new murder record. It's getting worse.
What
Now the thing that's big now is expressway shootings, and we can't even get the damn state troopers to come down and patrol. We've asked them to do it. They said they never got the request. So now it's like they're just arguing back and forth with each other.
So it's political crap.
Right.
Yeah.
But with this pandemic, you had to expect that
we
crime
know
was going to
these
go
are
up.
zoned off areas
I agree.
to keep, because
You had to expect it
in
to
the
go
South, that they have low involvement with the government. You know what I'm saying? They try to do the Republican thing there. And so when you got state troopers coming in, because that's what they did with us here. We got a lot of sheriffs. Everybody's some sheriffs. Jump in.
What is wrong with Republicans, sir? In Tennessee, Memphis is a Democratic state, but what's wrong with Republicans?
I don't have a problem with Republicans. My thing is their whole ethos is less government. That's it. So when you got
good thing.
and state troopers are government. You know what I'm saying? They're federal troopers. You know what I'm saying? So they're not gonna call on them. They're gonna call on their locals. And if they locals is not able to
I've never thought about that dynamic right there.
just putting it together, I go, these are the people that you want to show up, but you're like, yo, at the same time, we don't want y'all coming in too much and seeing some of this other stuff we doing. You know what I'm saying? So there's a politics there. There's a reason why there are these shootings. What's that element? And
what is the element? They just shooting on the freeway, man? Like, where are they getting off of?
I'm gonna say it again. The element is niggas. There's not been one white person shoot anybody on the expressway this year that I've known of, or last year when they had almost 200. That don't happen.
That's crazy, man.
And they're trying to turn the state into open, where they have passed it where it's open carry, which I'm all for, but I'm like, ooh, with the crap that we got going on, it's gonna be hard to be a police officer. Because now everybody's just gonna be walking around carrying.
But do you also think too that now that people are open carrying, they can actually protect themselves?
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm for it. But
I mean, because then at that point, it's
sides.
like it's like Milwaukee is so half-ass backwards with the law. So you can have concealed carry, but if someone run up on you and your life is threatened and you shoot back, well, guess what? You're going to go to jail. You're going to get a fine because you shot in a public surrounding, which makes no sense.
Right.
Because you're shooting to defend your life.
right.
I mean, come on.
It's all in the wording that you say after a shooting. It's pretty much all.
It has
in the
to be-
wording. If you say the wording right, you'll walk away free every time.
But even I guess my issue is even here in Milwaukee, because I'm all for open carry.
Yeah.
My whole opinion is,
It's legal here to open carry.
well,
It is, but
it
it's
is,
frowned
but it
upon.
isn't. Right.
And if you,
It is,
and
it
if you're a
is, but
person,
it isn't.
And if you're a person of color or something like that, they finna sweat you. But I do remember when they had a whole bunch of white folks, a whole bunch of white men on Fond du Lac, on one of the busiest urban centers. They had them all out there with assault rifles on their backs. I don't know what they was protesting. They had camouflage on and all this other stuff, and the police drove right past it. Right. I watched them do it.
But there are multiple videos on YouTube. You can look them up.
Yeah.
Of just I'm gonna walk down the street as a black man with a assault rifle and see what happens. And he get taken down.
Right.
Right. I mean immediately.
No discussion.
Put your hands up. Get on the ground. Our Caucasian counterpart. No issue. Hey, we just wanted to know what you're doing.
What you doing? Where you going?
So that's why.
Okay.
That's why. Again, it's legal in Wisconsin
Right.
to open carry.
But there's this
But
unwritten law that
when
if you
you're in
have
the
it,
city-
if we pull you over,
Correct.
it's finna definitely be a multiplier on whatever's going on.
That's
You
why I
get
just
pulled
say,
over for a
man,
light,
look,
whatever.
just have everyone open carry, man. Look, I believe a citizen should have the right to defend themselves, and I believe having a firearm is a deterrent from. You think a punk is gonna think twice if he see you with your side piece open, ready to go? We're probably not gonna rob this dude,
Right.
Because he's ready.
Right. Or at least
Right.
you know that the crime gonna be
She
violent.
ready.
You know that the crime gonna be violent because I got to come with violence first because you definitely coming back if I don't succeed on the first go. So, it's ugly, man.
So I was telling this man because just looking at his show and how direct he is, I just asked him. I said, "Man, when are you going to be a politician?" I keep putting it out there. I think he'll be a really good one, man. Hey, look.
He's trying to let y'all know I will be corrupt. I am about the money.
Okay, that's a good thing, right?
That's how you run.
You try to
politics.
bring the city up, right?
That's how you run politics. Tell the truth. Let the
I'm about
people
the
see.
money.
Let the
That's
people see
all
the
of
truth.
So I mean, man, if you were,
got it.
if you were,
Put it in plain
Oh,
sight.
wait,
Put
hold
it in
on.
plain
Yeah,
sight.
I remember this specifically in my brief time in Memphis. And man, what was the mayor name and his wife? It was all corruption, like for real corruption. This is what 10 years ago or something.
What's that?
And I forgot it was like a whole family.
Oh, the Fords.
The Fords, yeah.
Always doing some shit.
Oh, what's up, Melissa? I see you out there.
Fords, they always, yeah.
So man,
Still a powerful political family, despite all of it.
but if you could change things in Memphis, man, what would you do to change them? Because it's a beautiful city, man. But I
would open up more stuff for youth to do, but with also saying that, as we spoke about earlier, I would also tell these people, if you can't afford to take your kid outside the neighborhood and keep them in activities that would keep them out of trouble and afford shoes and stuff like that, maybe you shouldn't have kids at this time. You can wait. You don't have to do it now.
Oh my God.
But we do need, Memphis doesn't have anything, like when I grew up, we had like Liberty Land and all these theme parks and basketball courts to go to, and they're like they're extinct now.
Yes, here too. And that's the thing. People think just because they have children that make them parents. No. It's a whole process that comes with that.
It costs to put
It
kids
costs.
in football and stuff.
All that
I've
stuff
done it
costs.
with
I mean,
kids.
You-
and then your involvement is important.
Very.
I mean, more now than ever have
Right.
I noticed. Like, yo, if I don't give energy to the things that I want, it don't come true.
Prime example, what we were just talking about at the beginning of the show about the women that didn't want to accept the truth. That's because they never heard it from a man. A man wasn't in the house to tell them what the truth was.
Right.
You know, so
from what like a father's perspective.
yeah, from a father perspective. So
big
when a
brother,
man is not your
mentor.
father is giving you the truth, you don't want to accept it because you didn't have that mentor in your life. You didn't have that father's perspective. So now you got these women telling you what you should be, and they didn't have
yeah.
that man telling them what it is.
Right.
Right.
You know, all based on emotional. You know, and that's how a lot of women as single mothers are raising their kids in an emotional state, especially these boys. A lot of these boys out here is girls. They straight girls. They whole mentality is straight feminine.
Man,
You know, exactly. That's my point. You getting on here crying, that's something women do. You know what I mean? A straight man would have let it be what it be and then show and prove. You know what I mean? Logical thinking. And that's what he was talking about. Like a lot of people don't have logical thinking because they have these women running
you don't think Kwame Brown stood up for himself?
Oh, man.
Two things can be true. He could have stood up for himself, and he could have been crying.
Well, this is
I mean, stand up for yourself is to a certain point. You know what I mean? The first conversation you had was standing up for yourself. Hey, this is what it is.
This guy must
but
have
when
a
you
movie
kept coming
coming
back at it, now you crying. Now you crying. Like, come on, like it is what it is. And then somebody laid it out in the bloopers. Laid it out like this is what you is, dude. It's in video. This is what you do. You still want to keep talking. Now you crying. That's an emotional state. That's not a logical state. I've shown you what it is, and you still want to keep crying about it. That's logical. That's what women do.
Right.
Kwame Brown, I'm just gonna say that
Kwame Brown,
Hey,
you are getting some of this
you still got
daddy's cooking right now.
You still got Jordan number.
That's who everybody wants to hear from, Mike Jordan. Come
you
on.
need one of those Jordan memes where he's like, "That's crazy. That's crazy, man."
I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it real. For real.
Man.
For real. We
What it
gotta.
go- what it-
You need both. You need the balance.
you
You need the
know.
emotional. You need the logic. You know.
When I
I
look
think it's hard sometimes for these cats to find that balance, though.
is.
Because some cats, I think you got, particularly, just the black dudes that I know, that I grew up. Either you're just super hard, is you cross me,
Right.
and then you got the cats that are kind of like in between, right? Then you got the cats that are just, real sensitive, right? That's just, I don't want to fight, but that won't stand up for themselves, right? So I think you gotta find that happy medium and that balance.
That's the importance of having both parents in the home.
You're right. You're
That's
right.
the very importance of
Yeah,
that.
you're
Man.
absolutely right.
Having them active, especially when we have those girls that he ain't going around his daddy. Like you don't have a choice in that. He's the dad. You know what I mean? Like you don't have a choice. Like he should be around his dad.
These kids-
The same things that you have to input in him, he has some too. Does he have some negative things? Yes, he does,
Absolutely.
and you have
Just
some
know,
too.
There's
You
a
know what I
battle
mean?
going on. There's a battleship going on between the kids and the youth. Between the kids and the grown-ups. They feel like they
Yeah.
let them down. You hear,
And they have every right to feel that way.
I feel these young kids. They be like, man, you old niggas, y'all feel like y'all just this and that, and y'all Tupac'd us to death for the last blah blah blah. So that's why we don't want to hear none of that old stuff. We want to hear this new stuff, and they really be standing on it. They be like, yo, look, we get it that today you can sit here and with a thumb swipe, you can pick up a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? You can sit here and you can figure out how to fix your car on this YouTube and all these little Google apps and stuff. But, the tools that they using, if you don't have them available to you because your father's not around or you got a mentor around to help you or tell you how to use this tool.
But I think that's what M Pain was talking about. If they, if there is a fatherless household, right, then you resort to centers and things like that,
Exactly.
where kids
You
can.
go to whoever looking like they making it, If you see a drug dealer down the street, all he's sitting around, he get to be on the block all day. Every time you see him, he dressed up nice. All the pretty girls, all the ugly girls,
But
and
that's
all
all
the
you're
homies.
exposed to. That's what he was
Everybody's
talking
coming
about.
around.
We need the other part of
We
it.
walked past that type of stuff and went to the boys' club. With that.
Yeah,
Right.
we did that too. We
Right.
had the drug dealers on the block. We had other things to
There
go
anymore.
to.
It's
Right.
Like when you
Yeah.
be 5 or 6, it's maybe 2 or 3 now.
Yeah. And you
If that. Some
So
neighborhoods
this
don't have
is-
any.
This is a perfect segue, man. Because as we all know, who all works out at a gym?
Oh, I just bought me a treadmill.
I got
I'm
a
gonna
home
be building my
person
own
workout.
gym.
That's dope.
I just bought me a treadmill. I'm getting on.
So, do you know how many black-owned gyms there are in America?
I know Brandon Marshall has one.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
All right.
The only one I know.
So we're gonna fact check this because when I looked, I thought I seen 25, and they were
In
mostly
the world?
no in America.
Oh, in America.
In America, yep, it was a couple in California, I in New York, I believe one in Florida, but it wasn't many.
Yeah.
So I just said to myself, this is billion-dollar industry. And what are kids missing? So I just want to give a big shout out to Bridgewater Performance, Johnny Bridgewater. He's actually Tyler Hero actually trained strength and performance at Bridgewater Performance. Bridgewater showed some love to Dolphins youth football for a camp they held, and one of the few black-owned, and I don't think a lot of people know this, few black-owned businesses that is sports performance and fitness. It's a fitness center / sports performance. I think we need more of that. I was just saying how the Boys and Girls Club, I don't even know how many we have in Milwaukee. I could tell you Hillside, that's the one I used to go to.
Sharman Park, that's the one I went to.
There's another Boys and Girls Club off of 24th and Rogers.
Holy
That's
Redeemer,
all I can think of.
They got one at Holy Redeemer.
And Running Rebels program. That's all I could think of. So let's say it's 6 of them in big ass Milwaukee. That's sad. That's sad.
Just think of all them kids not having that access,
That's one of the things I was talking about when I had made a comment on Facebook. This girl went all in on me about it when I was talking about how the vaccine shots are targeting the African American community, and then if you look at a lot of commercials, you see that they're now showing all these mixed couples, and and I said they had to change the narrative because the whole world's seen what happened to George, so they had to make it look like they were in support of the black community, where they are not. We need to be showing commercials that that starts to rebuild the damage that's been done to our black men, our black community, period. When are you going to start focusing on that? It's great that we have all these commercials about mixed couples, but when are you going to start building and showing commercials about building us? And the lady was like, well, they're targeting you because you are the most dying. Our diet is horrible. When are you going to show commercials that focus on changing our diet? You know what I mean? Like, that's why we're dying from this type of things. Our diet is different. And that's because of the things you fed us as slaves.
It's just like the programming. You just got to look at our programming, from our music to what we ingest in our visual entertainment.
The things they pump in our music.
Like when we look at certain upstanding stuff where it's supposed to be like, this is supposed to be more positive.
Kwame Brown.
Wow. I was thinking more Tyler Perry movies or something like this. But
But even I don't even want to get on that, because even that has like,
it's goofied up too.
Stereotypes.
And you just go.
What'd you say? Tyler Perry is
what? He's created some horrible, terrible stereotypes.
So hold on.
I'm sorry.
So with wealthy black people, that's a stereotype?
No. He's not.
No.
When you gotta watch his shows,
ratchet grandma carrying a gun in her purse, wanting to fight and cuss all the time.
Every show has a gay couple. Every show has like, you gotta, you got violence. Every show has violence. Like, come on, if you're gonna depict us,
bring it back.
tell the truth about us.
Had these niggas in his movie with the chiseled chest and stuff on. He weird too.
But
he always have the little.
He has some positive, but some things I think we could do without.
I don't mean to slander him up and beat him up, but I'm just saying it's just one avenue. He the most successful at his avenue, and there's a reason why certain people will put it through.
Because he's already selling the image that society already believed us to be.
There are so many
he just
other
profited on this image that he believed black people to be.
But that goes back to a lot of us though, because that means we like bullshit. We like it. And
that's
without
my point.
Without
show us how to love ourselves first.
Without us consuming it, it wouldn't exist.
He's got the monopoly on that type of bullshit.
We need to show us how, if you want to really help
and
black
it's a
people,
buyer's market.
Show us how to love ourselves first.
Just
promote that.
Just put out another movie or a TV show where the black man doesn't have to be emasculated by his wife. He can handle stuff, and he can be a leader.
He can be a leader.
He can be
the protector, the provider.
He can have white subordinates. He can have white subordinates.
He
can have an assistant manager that is his partner that is kind of goofy, kind of quirky or whatever, but is still competent, not a retard or some weird person on the spectrum or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they always put
We're
us
not saying
I'm
retard.
Man, y'all know what
mentally
I mean.
challenged.
I'm not calling
you are PC. He said, don't say the R word.
like, okay, so you get what I'm saying. I'm just saying, however you gonna put it. I mean, I'm an 80s baby, man. We grew up in a different era, man.
Right.
But like as far as the stuff goes with this stuff, I'm saying give us a room where it's all black people that are astute. Like the reason why we like Boomerang so much is these was high-powered lawyer men.
Thank you.
These
This is
was
what I'm saying.
owners
Put
of a
these type of
different
shows.
world,
Pump our
you know?
TVs up with those type of shows.
I mean,
those type of images.
we like Coming to America because.
But that's what I'm saying,
you know,
though.
he was
as far
a
as
king of his own
the
country.
Tyler Perry movies,
goofy to
and I haven't
that,
seen
like
all of
the
them,
second one.
but I will say, I felt that the actors, the characters were powerful black women, powerful black men. Did they have issues that whatever the dynamic was? Yeah, but it wasn't like they were, ooh, woe is me. That's what I kind of felt like.
Man.
The one where they went on that vacation to
So I
Colorado.
guess you don't watch the series that come on BET.
I don't watch that shit.
Well, I'm gonna need you to watch that.
I don't watch that.
Like,
Why Did I Get Married was a good movie, but they still had the wretched black woman in there, the cheating.
Who?
The one that played
Angela
Angela and
Bassett.
Spoon.
But-
not her name was Angela on the show, but she's always the dark skinned woman that's
Okay.
always upset. And Michael J. White was the cheating old bumbling dumb athlete.
Okay.
Oh, you talking about what? I thought you were talking about.
So
They
just
had Jill Scott
so-
as the fat
so-
insecure dude, and her husband was out cheating on her with everybody. They had
But did
Tyler
they
Perry's
not-
wife lying to him, killing. Everybody in there had a messed up subplot.
But can I just say this, man? Is it not entertainment? Is it not?
Yes, it is.
So
but just go. This is what I'm trying to get to. Though it is entertainment, and though those characters and they've made this man lots of money, and we're not here demeriting his money. I say he don't have to have the only monopoly on this stuff. Somebody else, like these kids, is going crazy on this TikTok and Instagram and trying to put shorter and shorter.
You can make a
images
movie
of
off
them
of
out there
iPhone.
doing that. I'm like, yo. This is the best time where the big production companies don't have as much power as they once did when you can go live.
Correct.
And it can touch everybody.
it's
just
all
off
about
of a like
content
and share.
creation. It's all about content creation.
So like, I'm like, in our community, why aren't we showing those movies
Well-
where this guy is just a mechanic?
Well, you
At
know
the
what?
end of the day,
But
people still are watching television,
But
and
you know
they're
what?
pumped with images of us that is in a negative
Tara
connotation.
Tara shared the video. They did a little music video about not stealing cars and all that. Now the music wasn't up to par that I thought, but I thought it was a pretty cool video with positivity. Now again, I don't think we have enough of that. I think you can make it a lot hotter too, but that's what I'm talking about. In fact, I'm going to invite him on the podcast. But that's what I'm saying. That's like, to me, that's more real stuff. Seeing that, I'm looking at TV just for entertainment in general. Period.
Right.
But that's because you have the
But-
mindset to do that.
but-
You have so many
but
people
you are-
that are watching television, and that is their mindset,
And
what
they-
they're seeing on television.
they
So they
are
don't
so-
decipher the difference between real life and television.
Right.
They don't
really
decipher
think this
that.
character is
Those
for
people are
real.
stupid.
They really think that this
have
is
to just
the character that
accept
this
it.
person is
Some
playing.
Those
is
are the people that
somebody
we have out there
exists.
shooting on the freeway.
Yes.
That's what I mean. Like nobody is talking to those people. We just like feel like those are throwaways, but they got to be reached too. We can't just
And they
leave them
still
out
people.
there.
Those
You
are
can
still
talk
somebody's
to 'em,
baby.
but you can't
And-
make them listen.
Yeah.
So
But
what I just say, you could take the horse to the
Man.
but you can't make. But you got it.
But
Somebody
you also have
then
to
when
give
they
them an
when they carry
alternative.
out that characteristics or when they carry out those things, then it's on them. It's no longer on you. If you,
You got-
haven't told them the truth, you can't expect them
gotta
to
give
know
them-
the truth.
you
have
gotta
to give
give
it to
them an
them, and then if
environment.
they don't respond to it, then now it's on them.
you got to give them an environment that allows them to see what consequence really is. Because when you in a situation where thievery and stuff like this is, and jail time is just common day things. They don't see what the consequences are. Now, after you've done your 10-year bid or something as an 18-year-old, you're coming out 28, and now you're like, yo, that little felony really messed it up. I can't get hired for no
Right.
quick money nowhere.
Right.
I got to figure out what I'm going to do with myself. I can't
Start
even
your own
vote,
business.
And what do I do? Who do I talk to clear my records or get it to where I can at least vote so I can do things and be a part of my
But they don't have
community?
people in
Yeah.
there. That's very important too,
You know?
to make sure you're surrounded by people
What's-
that is able to feed into you positive things. That's able to tell you what the correct thing is to do. Because if you did 28 or 20 years, 10 years, whatever, and you get out and you hanging out with the same people, you're gonna end up right back where
in.
you were.
So
You have to
in
remove
Payne,
yourself.
what are your thoughts about a felon? He served his time. He did his bid. Should he be allowed to own a firearm for home protection now, or just in
Depends on
general?
what they were.
It depends on the crime.
It should go depend on what they were locked up for. If they were locked up for like a DUI or something like that, sketchy. But if you went to jail for, you did it. You just say you freaking stole $1,000 worth of stuff out of a store.
Right.
If
you went to jail for strong arm robbery, I don't want to give you a gun again. You know what I'm
But I
saying?
mean, depending on, I don't know if that's true though, because a lot of people are doing time for crimes that they really didn't commit. So you gonna tell me I was convicted of robbery, I really didn't commit that robbery, and you gonna tell me I can't defend my family?
Yeah.
That's 22.
Yeah.
That's what they do now.
That's the hazard of breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? Now you at the mercy of what the state
What if you
wants.
didn't break the law?
but
What if
that's-
it was just somebody pointed you out and that really wasn't you and you serving the time? We got a lot of people sitting out there from false.
I suggest when you get out, you go kill that person.
No, he did not say that. Bleep that out.
Already did 10 years for me. May as well go.
Might as well commit the crime, right?
Oh man,
Yeah.
I would say you
You might have to edit this one.
That's
We
where you have
live.
to,
We live.
That's where you will have to get in touch with a lawyer and make sure that you can read and find a way to get your freedom back. You know what I'm saying? When you in there, you don't have to stay in there the whole time. If you can show, and you can always appeal and work your way out. Now it's harder, and you hope that you can make a better defense for yourself, so you don't even have to.
We're going off the notion that these laws were meant for us.
Right.
And that they were created for us.
I think when and that almost
Well-
brings me to that reparations conversation. I love this.
That's all we want to talk about.
Man.
Man, don't get me
That's all we wanna talk about.
Do not get me started.
Okay,
I don't
okay,
want
y'all.
the
We
white
got
man
20
to
minutes of fire for this, y'all.
I don't want his I'm sorry money. I'm sorry. I don't want it.
You know, this is why.
I look.
I'm
First of all,
sorry.
I don't know whose money is, but if it's coming from the government, I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
Look,
I pay my taxes.
I don't even curse, but
Come
screw
on,
you, pay me. That's all I want. My money. Run me my money. All of the stuff y'all talking about giving me, I don't want none of that.
How much money?
Run me
though,
my
is-
money.
What would be just?
I
put a
want to be.
number on
I
it.
want my kids to be paid.
Wow.
So
Don't-
So what did you say? Like 5 million a house?
No. It's not a number.
No, I'm saying give me a number.
I don't have
A realistic number? Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Like
A
right
real-
now, if they
right?
said right now,
if they
came
said,
to
if
you
they
and
said, you
what's
know
a
what?
good number to give black people for reparations? That you
I'm going to
think
give
would
you
be
two
fair?
numbers. I'm going to give you two numbers. I'm going to give you the number that I think that would be a realistic number, and I would say anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000. Now, truth be told, hold on now. Hold on.
Is that per month?
Wait for it, Tar.
Oh, okay.
But the number that I truly feel will be appropriate will be anywhere between $1 to $3 million per individual from descent from slaves.
I still don't think that's enough. I feel
You're probably right. I mean, when you really think about, if you think about money made, profit made, wealth made, if you think about it, then it's generational.
Yeah.
And then you talk about inflation.
Man, there was this
It would
one-
be probably some more like
in the
real
billions.
talk.
There was this one.
We
time
need to be
show.
paying from the time
But-
slavery
I don't know.
started.
Was it
Right,
What's
but
it
it
called,
won't be realistic.
Har-
So you gotta
Fire
give
in
them some
Harlem.
realistic
It had Danny Glover.
number
What's the name of
to
that
make
movie?
it happen. Because if it's we can't.
Something-
You're still enslaving us.
But
I'm
this
not,
is where
I am not a slave in 2021. I will not let you
this
put
is
that
this is
jacket
one
on me.
this is one of the biggest topics.
I will let you put that jacket on me. I'm not a
You.
slave.
That's
A
because
raise.
your
No,
mind,
raise.
your
No.
mind is now free to the point where you have been open to see.
I've
But
never been a slave,
I have never been.
so I'm not.
But
a slave.
I can't speak for other those who have
Well,
not.
there's certain levels of slavery.
Yeah.
Truth be told,
There is.
like, I mean,
There is.
'Cause
That's my point.
Because just know they modified it after slavery
Exactly.
into sharecropping, and they took away the sharecropping element to it, right? But it's still predatory lending. You know,
Mm-hmm.
loan sharks, high interest rates on low income
subprime
areas.
loans.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
for
we
poor people in general, though. It's not.
you know.
targeted.
Right.
Okay,
but that's the
but the
retrofit.
question-
Yeah.
But that's the
but-
retrofit because
but-
you know before it was you wasn't even a person, you was my property. Get out there, cow, and go tend to my fields or lay in my bed
You still
or
are.
take
You
care of my
3/4
kids.
man. You're
Right.
still a slave.
So now you got to look at what they've turned it into, and then that's why they value this class stuff so much. Because
Right.
If you make only
the
so
middle
much money,
class
you are
and
this
the
or that.
rich
You know,
and the-
that's why it means
Which
something to them.
again, if we're in the let's be clear, America is not the richest country in the world. We are the most economic benefactor from taxes and work. GDP, that's where America's number one. People work, pay taxes, shit get made, people buy stuff. That's where we are number one. And you can't tell me in a country like that, capitalistic country, right,
I'm about my Skrilla.
that we still have a poverty class.
We are
That's crazy to
a
me.
country
Well,
developed
it's
off of
everybody
criminals
but-
and religious fanatics that have gone on to collectively treaty break their way all across the country to take the country. I love my country, you know what I'm saying? But we have an ugly start.
We have an ugly, horrible.
We have an ugly
And-
origin of how
and
it
we
started.
still goes on, and
But
we're
we
not-
go on to create something where we separate from the big imperialist arm of Britain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we go on to create this democracy. That's not really a democracy. It's a democratic republic. It's both. It's a mix of
It
both.
is. It is.
And it's a hodgepodge, and it's always some loopholes. That's how they've created it. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I love the country and I think it's forgivable is once we can determine that everybody is a citizen within the place, the rules stand up pretty good for everybody. You know, when you look at the basis of what the place is, the country and its tenets are wonderful. The problem is the people who have been in power and who have seen power only look like certain people.
Correct.
They only attribute favoritism and things to those people.
Correct.
So when you got a police officer that looks at me and you in this room and go, y'all look more like criminals than Karen, Becky, Sarah, Jesse, Tim, Taylor, or any of them guys.
Those are really white names.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I'm doing that for when they are doing the same thing, whether it's illegal or not, and they are still seen as more righteous than me by the person that is going to enforce the law. That's where the problem is. And when you've got corporate interests that do things to bend the law to allow them to have certain benefits, and those benefits run in on people. Like,
I got a
for
question
example,
for our guest.
when a juvenile detention center goes up, and then all of a sudden juvenile criminality goes up, you say, is it because kids were already bad and they just finding them, or are they filling this place to make sure that everybody
full.
there
It's
is
full.
getting paid for
Make
doing
sure
their
it's full.
jobs? So you got to go, okay, private, the things that we've instituted, like private prisons and stuff like this, that's slavery, where they can go ahead and petition and sue the country. They could sue their cities and states they're in to make sure that they're not getting their stuff filled because they're not getting enough inmates.
As a Republican, how do you feel about the Biden
First of all,
administration?
I am not a Republican.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to clear it back in.
I don't give a damn about politics, but I don't think there's anything wrong with being Republicans because black people can't be just one thing.
Sure, absolutely.
I mean, if you are a person that participates in the country at all, there's some things you're going to be liberal about, some things you're going to be conservative about, some things you're going to be very, very, it's a spectrum.
You can't be
circumstantially.
put in
You
a
can't be
box.
rigid. You can't be rigid on all things because, especially when you got family or friends, you're gonna be like, well, I don't want to see them lose because of this law or something, even though they participate. But at the same time, I don't necessarily want it in my backyard, or I don't want to do it.
Right.
And some people they don't have that far sight, that sight to see that to eliminate for some eliminates for the many at times and creates different problems. But like when you talk about the black plight that creates this situation where these kids are still in these cars. They're looking at YouTube videos and they figuring out how to pop these cars off, and they driving them crazy because why not? And they just joyriding and taking videos and the stuff. You got to remember, you listen to what these kids are singing. They over here taking anti-anxiety medicine and focusing medicine. This Ritalin stuff, this anxiety medicine, so they ain't got no fear. They taking their fear away to do this stuff.
Percocet.
Yeah.
You hear this Percocet stuff, that's them taking away their pain. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think, like, we allowing these kids to just be given this stuff without, hey, you're not supposed to do this. You see
no guidance. Just
you see these kids are smoking all this weed, and now you see them.
I got
lean.
a question because I'm glad you said about the lean. That wasn't. I know from Memphis, you can probably speak on this. That was something way back. That was going on way back. That wasn't like some shit.
Was drinking lean before it got cool.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's that.
Now
that
there's a different type of drug though. Like they're
Right.
taking prescription drugs that is much stronger than the stuff that the street drug.
I remember I went to Memphis and I was I think I just needed like
I remember it
Robitussin
from
or
The
something.
Simpsons, the Flaming Moe.
And they asked me for my ID and stuff.
Oh, to get the medicine. Yeah.
And I just thought that was so weird. I'm like,
Hollywood with it.
But that stuff legal. Meanwhile, you putting Armin in jail for. I'm gonna shut up.
Man.
Y'all know where I'm at. Y'all know where I'm at.
Now, were those men just laying in the bed and the police said, "Hey, you got a little crack on you. Come on with us." Son.
Right.
Were they out doing something?
Right.
They were selling it, but I'm saying that you get to sell your drugs legally,
Right. Well,
and it's killing us. It's killing us.
That's the country that we live in.
That's my
That's the
problem.
hypocrisy.
That's why-
That's my problem. You arrest us up for life.
so
But we know this: either we play the game or we leave.
So this is the question, y'all. This is just so we're
gotta
talking
change the
because me,
game.
I brought up
They ain't gonna
reparations.
happen. They ain't gonna
Now,
let you change
do you
their
think
system.
any amount of money is going to
Got
change?
to.
It's
Do
gonna
you think
change.
any
You
amount of
got to.
money
It
is
might
going
take
to
some
change
time,
that?
but it's gonna change.
well, we waiting for it.
Okay, because
They may give
I have
you the illusion of change, but
there's
they
a
ain't
it's
gonna
a historical
change
story
their
that
overall system.
there's a story about
There's
this
an
guy.
illusion,
There's
just
a
like
black
yesterday
man
when I
in the
tagged
South.
on. It's an illusion.
He
of
goes to
change.
the police officer. He's
You're
making
right.
a lot of
With
money.
Barrett, but
And what happens is this
is why we gotta make
dude,
this change.
goes on, and he's making all this money,
you. I
and the
still
white
believe in change.
farmers
I
in the
still believe in it.
neighborhood, they didn't like that he was making this money. He goes to the police officers, hoping that they could protect him, and they ended up burning down the precinct and killing him and all the police officers in the place. And
Wait,
this
what
is
happened?
And
What
this
happened?
dude was a rich man. This is a black one. There's a tale of a black man in the South who went to the police to get protected from pretty much the Klan. You know what I'm saying?
There's a tale of this now.
No, it's real. You can look it up.
It's a tall tale.
I don't have the name. I don't have the name, but I don't have the name in my memory banks at the moment. The names elude me, but it's real. It's real. And he goes to the precinct. He's got all this money and everything. And at the end of the day, they still dragged him about the precinct, killed him and the police officers in the place. And this is Old South, when that type of stuff gets swept under the rug.
Correct.
So
There's all
you
type
go-
of horror
okay,
stories
so-
that
I'm not gonna let
happen.
y'all talk
So
about
you
the
get
South
$5
like
million.
that. I'm just not
Let's
gonna
say
do it.
let's say they just
Oh,
go
come
ahead
on
and
now,
break
man.
the
Come
whole
on now,
bank.
I'm not
man.
gonna let you talk about the South like that.
I'm just saying.
Come on, facts.
I'm just
I'm a
saying.
Southern girl, too.
What I'm trying to get to
It
is
is what it
what I'm
is.
trying to get to is they give you this money and they still shoot you like a dog in the street. What do it matter if you got the money? And then you know how they do once you dead.
So
They
once-
start cutting your money
so
up,
once
tax
a-
the hell
so-
out of it.
so once again-
you know, and get into your inheritance and all that stuff and take
So
it
once
from you
once
again
again,
anyway.
you guys are 100% right. It's all about power.
So-
and it's about money. So there is a game, regardless of whether we want to call it a game or not. It is a game.
It's not a game.
And it's not a game, but it's
lot
not
of
a game, but
backstabbing and treaty breaking.
It-
that we've
it-
seen
it-
throughout
And that's the
years.
game they're
That-
playing.
that
Oh,
when it
correct.
happens,
So-
when it happens, we all say real good. We get real hush because we had it where we was our original colonies was only supposed to have the East Coast, and they broke them treaties and they started pushing across. And then we had remember the Magna Carta and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Great
the
nation.
manifest, and then that turned
Louisiana
into
Purchase.
Manifest Destiny.
They stole that one.
So you see what it is.
Wow.
So just know that
Stole.
these-
They've been stealing since the beginning.
So
They
this
paid
is
for
the
it, but
government
price
that
was
is
so
above
they-
us.
they
These
got
are
it
the
for so cheap that it's like they stole it.
These are the private.
Well,
these are the private
It turned out to
entities.
be Louisiana.
These are the private entities
The whole
around
damn
us.
West Coast, the
have to
half
go-
of America.
How do we legislate? Can we legislate that?
Correct. Yes, we can. And this is part of the problem. So we live in a two-party system. So right now, something simple. Should we get a committee to overview what happened on January 6th with the Capitol riot? So one, we can really find out and hold more people accountable. Two, to see if people were in power positions, legislators, congressmen, senators, if they were involved. Three, how can we prevent this from happening again?
So you were bothered by what took place.
Oh, absolutely.
But were you bothered by the riots and stuff that were going on?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because
So this
I'm going to say it because before anyone say anything, well, Black Lives Matter are rioters. Bullshit. You got peaceful protesters that happen to be Black Lives Matter protesters.
And the people that went to jail was mostly white folks.
And the people who we would call fools and criminals.
The
Burnt shit down.
arsonists and all them stuff.
And
that turned
rightfully
around
so,
stuff,
they should have went to jail. Right. So
hijacking the narrative.
So
of the
right,
cause.
so don't hijack the narrative because now you look at it again, and I heard the word those were patriots out there, right? Which
those
I
are
call
some good people.
those. Yeah,
You want
They-
that bum rush the Capitol?
They-
Which
they
I call
rioted
BS
at the
on-
There
Capitol.
were some good people in there. Just like you said that with the Black Lives Matter, there were some people that were there.
You
there were good people.
You can't have it both ways.
So
You gotta say
hold
it's
on.
good on both
In
sides.
pain.
So
Hold
what's-
on now, in
so
pain.
You know what? You know what was good about the U.S.
Were
this
people
riot, the U.S.
lied to?
riot. What was nice about it is that they didn't succeed.
You said were people lied to, yeah.
Right?
Right, so people were lied to. So they were good people that are just dumb enough to believe a lie.
That happens every day.
Right.
That's
Not
how
to
the-
that-
that's how the
not to
Black
that
Lives
scale.
That's how the Black Lives movement matter started.
Reparations.
I thought it was all about
People-
reparations.
What?
But,
what I was trying to.
I'm
allude
with him
to-
on that.
We were
It's just-
at the Capitol, right?
Right.
We were at the Capitol.
Yeah, I thought that's what we were
Said
talking
we were
about
on the
too.
Capitol.
I thought
right? You
we
said
moved to
stick
that too.
Capitol.
I'm
Yeah,
just-
on both sides. Everybody that was at the Capitol wasn't the ones out there to cause destruction and chaos. Kind of like
Correct.
everybody with the Black Lives Matter.
Correct.
Wasn't out there to do that.
Correct.
Right.
But let's
They knew. Well, I wish. How do you know?
They
But let's
hey,
focus
they
on the
opened-
people.
They
How
opened
did
up
they
the
know?
doors and let
Did
them
they
come
have,
in
like,
like
what
they
were they
did. You
doing?
know, it was
So
senators.
that's why they need a commission.
Did they have a
That's why they
vaccine?
need a commission. We need to find out who was like okay with this happening and get them the hell out of
They
office.
were already.
Well,
But what's I guess
how are they
what's
so
more
protected? How is that whole group of
But-
people not shot to death on site and all that
but
stuff coming
right
in?
there.
but Gerald,
That right there.
Because when you saw the Black Lives-
nah, bro.
Gassing them.
Nah,
y'all
bro.
shooting them on site. None of that didn't happen when they ran the
That ain't
Capitol.
the president.
If-
That's where the senators ran.
If I'm just gonna speak from real life situation.
And they're part of
If
our-
I'm an officer, right, and I see a crowd congregating,
I'm running.
shit's about to go down.
I'm running.
Shit's about to go
That's where you
down.
gotta-
I'm a human. I'm
Can I
one
get some
person against the
backup?
mob.
I don't understand why the same rules didn't apply to from Black Lives
Well,
Matters
because-
to running the
because of-
Capitol.
Because of the color
fear,
of the people.
We
because
own
of
the Capitol.
fear,
The people
because
own the
of
Capitol,
fear.
though. Black and white people own that Capitol. We pay those people
Thank
salaries.
you.
We have
Right.
the right to be in there
Yeah.
to see what the frick they're doing.
That's true.
We do. We are
and there's,
people.
And
We
there's
pay
Hold on, wait,
protocols.
time out. Hold on, wait.
But there's protocols to going in and out
Correct.
there because that's a
There's
place.
protocols on how it goes down.
Yeah, there was protocols
Okay,
to
there's
the Boston Tea Party. Sometimes you got to cut up.
Man,
Well,
you can't.
That's-
Well, they.
that's why
But
I
this is
agree
what I'm
with
saying.
the
But
whole
they.
That's why I agree
They.
with what Black Lives Matter did when they did their uprising. Because sometimes you got to raise a little hell to get the people's attention.
I would say this, and I tried to explain this to so many people on Facebook. I said I don't condone any of the violence or anything, but I can feel the anger. I can definitely feel the anger. So, and some people don't know how to let that anger outlet. Now, me, I try to be a little bit cerebral, just a little bit. And how can I move around this to where I can actually make change? Because we can sit here all day, but it's going to come down to power. How do you get power? By making the rules. How do you get power? By having money to change the rules.
Well,
So
and it
that's
has to
the
go.
game.
It has to go. It has to go further than that. It has to go further than that. It has to go to those who are enforcing the rules. Have to see everybody within in the country as countrymen and not as second class citizens. Once you can weed out that bad element where justice is not being served properly, we're not getting our proper due, and we're not getting our proper due in court. We're not getting our proper shake in just being brought into justice, right? And then you got all these other things like gerrymandering, all these other redlining, and all this other stuff.
I got a question for our
Well,
guest.
according to the Constitution, we are being treated according.
To pay them off. I was able to beat all my charges. Except for the one I'm currently pending, but that's going to get dismissed too. I'm going to trial on this one.
So I got a question for our guest. And I got a lot of heat for this, but then it made people think. Do you think what would make more sense for, and I'm just talking about the black community, does it make sense for us to focus on stopping police brutality and making sure that we have policies in place where everyone's policed the same in the nation? Or do we focus on the crime rate that's going up in the urban city?
Crime rate.
So what's more important?
I would say
Crime rate.
I would say make sure that the discretion of the officers is equal, because after that, then that becomes a personal home training circumstance. Like
What's going to have the most effect immediately long term though?
Now, some people say the check would, because now you got people with something to lose. All right, I got this $5 million now. I'm gonna chill now. I don't need to go and rob and finesse because I got money. But then after
you think the money is going to bring the crime down?
But you burn it up on bad habits and then you right back after it.
Boom.
So I say you have to. It's kind of like I almost say it's a 3-tier thing. One, you got to create some sort of police justice bill where you have to figure out the discriminate. Like either there's more training for officers or some sort of saturation thing where, okay, people of color are in this area. We finna hire and incentivize young black kids in this neighborhood
Black kids
to be.
don't want to be police officers.
I mean, but they
We've
don't
taught them.
I don't know if that's true though, bro.
I don't know, not no more. When they was nice and handing out baseball cards, they did, but not no more.
They still running around saying "fuck 12." That is the thing.
Well, that's
something recent. Fuck, like,
and they only doing that because they ain't got no friends that's police officers. They police officers taking their daddy and them to jail.
Right.
So now if they are incentivized to go there, if you know that you can go while you 16 years old, train in the place, learn through the officers and everything, get a paycheck.
Correct. So now that's changing
money.
That's changing. That's changing. That's changing the system.
Police.
Correct. That's a whole nother culture.
That's a job. Now you got a job, and now they go, well, I know some of these police officers. These police officers now know some of us.
Yes.
Okay.
We got
in our
parents
neighborhoods,
teaching folks, screw the police. The police ain't your friend. They're not.
So we're not going to even touch on the foundation of where the laws come from. We're not going to even touch on
mean,
this
well,
constitution.
we
The
can't
roots
touch
of it.
that
Thank
there.
you. We're not going to even talk.
understand.
Like, you got to start there first. Like, you can't just attack one part of the problem and not attack the root. That's just like cutting down a tree and leaving all the roots there, thinking that it's not going to grow right back. Like, we got to attack the root of it.
Apply to everybody.
That's
They're
why I'm
just
saying.
policing us.
My
differently.
thing is the
Correct.
Constitution calls
Correct.
us 3/4 human.
That-
3/5,
but
3/5
that was-
human.
that
It
was
already
that
says
was
that
for
we not
voting
even
purposes,
held.
though. That
We're
was
not even
for-
supposed
that was
to
for
be
voting
addressed.
Purposes in Congress and
They
Senate.
live by the Constitution. These
that-
laws are based
But
off
it
the
wasn't calling us
Constitution.
less than a man. It was for votes in what do they call it? The whatchamacall votes that they have. The electoral.
Yeah, when they were trying
It
to
was
get
for
votes.
electoral votes. It
That
wasn't
still has
saying
to be
that you
changed
were
because
less than a man.
Well, when that was
had it-
originally
because had
when
it-
that was originally came,
If
it was saying you
You
were
are-
not.
You don't
But
even
you're
count.
not a
That's how
fifth
it
You
of
don't
a
count.
man
That's how it was
because
interpreted,
you're
but
not.
that's not what it meant.
Bro, that's
Had-
what it
had
was
they-
meant when they
had
first
they not
started
made
that.
that-
When
had
they
not made
first
that, like,
started it.
the South would have ran everything because they were going to count each particular slave as a member in order to give them more electoral votes. And so the North was like, "Oh hell
No,
no, we
right.
don't have
Wait.
slaves."
That's right,
The
that's
North
right, you're
was like,
right.
"We don't have slaves, so y'all can't count every slave because there's no way that we would be able to ever catch up with y'all." So they had to come up with the compromise to for every 3 or every 5 slaves, we'll give you 3.
And
That's true. That's
and
true.
there's
That's
a
what
part
that
of that, and there's a part of that as a commodity too, because then they're not people. So then laws will apply to them.
Exactly.
Correct.
So they're not
Correct.
people.
So their
That's
life,
exactly
liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
how it
don't
started.
have to-
Their intentions was exactly what you said, but that's not how it's interpreted.
This is
But-
what I'm going to leave it with, man. Gerald, I think that was spot on with what you said about getting officers engaged at a young age. And that just goes back to how
All of
poor
our
our
civil
school
stuff.
system. Man, our school system is. I would love for a kid to say, you know what, I want to get into law enforcement as a young age. I don't have to worry about paying all this college and stuff because it's so. Some you gotta go to college, some you don't. Some you got police academy. But it would be dope if I'm young, I'm 16, and I'm getting paid. Now I'm starting to get a paycheck. I'm not saying he would have to make $80,000 a year.
an apprenticeship
but something.
within the police department.
Correct.
You walking
Correct.
and doing
But they stopped
neighborhood
doing
watch
that.
stuff.
The PST
with
stuff we used to have. That was like our apprenticeship program. We were a traffic cop, and they cut that division out all the way.
Why?
I think it was just a tax cutting move. Like they started making the
Budget.
police officers just show up to the accident scenes. They were like, we don't need a whole nother department just to pull up for accidents. And then they slowly brought them back. But during that time when they did have PSTs, it was more black kids leaving high school going straight into that. You'd be 18 and they
Right.
were doing college and stuff. They were
So
getting college
what I'm
credit.
saying is we have these civic things that are out there. You know what I'm saying? The fire department, the hospital, and all these things that need attention. As you can see from this COVID thing, I think we all can agree that we need a better healthcare system. Now you got this stuff here, and then with our schooling,
Why don't you put the people in office on the same healthcare system?
There's
I bet we have a
some
better one than
rudimentary education elements there, but then you got an opportunity to really boost up the neighborhood by making these people a part of it, letting them know what their power is within their communities, and then allowing them to flourish within and consider them countrymen.
I think, man, in the whole when you do that, I can't wait to share my business plan with you guys. I forgot to bring it, man. I can't wait to share.
And,
it.
you
But I
know-
think when you do that whole then it's not even like a give and take. It's just us. It's us. You know what I mean? Us, policing, community, neighborhood, city, and then you'll start to. Instead of, man, I'm not gonna snitch on no one. I don't want to be involved.
I ain't going in that neighborhood.
Then-
'cause
I-
it's
then
violent.
it's gonna be-
Then it's
gonna
where it's
be-
gotta start with us.
This punk,
That could change it.
this punk ass, get him. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Did you take me to a black area of town or a white area of town last night?
You were in a predominantly white area
Why did you feel comfortable over there?
because I live over there.
The police, are you afraid of the police over there?
We'll save that for next week. 2:00.
He ain't here next week. I love him.
Hold on, damn it.
I think the audience here.
So hold on. In case we don't know about Jerry Hawkins' background, and I told him when we went to the bar, I told him exactly what type of area we're in, and I said it's a little diverse. I said over here, I said you get right. I said you're majority white, but then you got black and Hispanic. So I said this is probably the most diverse area in Milwaukee. Why are you looking? What did you see in the bar? What did you see in the bar? Hold on now. What did you see? in the
Now,
bar?
on that note, we're going to kiss our white wives when we get home and call it a break.
You see what? You see what?
Puerto Ricans,
Black and Puerto Ricans
peoples,
and some white
ladies.
people. So very diverse.
Look,
I ain't lying.
to all my white
Your
listeners out
spot
there, I
might
just
be
want to let
loud.
you
Hold
know.
on now.
What spot you got?
He got white neighbors too. I don't want to hear
I
it.
brought out today was
In your
rooted in
neighborhood
some
or in
sort
the black
of some
neighborhood?
historical fact, and with a
It
bias
dep-
trying
it-
to
it
help.
depends on the black neighborhood. Now,
black,
Tara, I'm gonna
the
keep it
black
real. When
plight in
you were
America.
talking about like how your neighborhood, I bought a house over there. it wasn't like how you were saying with
Oh yeah,
shootings.
they
It wasn't like that. When I'm telling you that we were walking dogs and it was smooth. Chris, he knows. When I bought my house, how was that? Chill, our engineer. We used to own working out at Cardinal Fitness.
All right.
Mayfair. But anyways, we're gonna have him just give a head nod. That neighborhood on 67th and Villard, was it a nice neighborhood that you can raise a family?
Where did it go down?
True. That's true.
Now,
I don't know.
on that note,
I don't know.
it's
damn,
2
at that
o'clock.
time-
It's 2 o'clock, man.
Oh, damn.
The answer is when niggas moved in.
Nah, bro. Nah. Nah.
I can say that about Burla.
Oh man, look here, man. Hey, we gonna get up out of here because next week we will have more of this, man. My man in pain over here, Mr. Trey here. He came in. Make sure y'all show some love to the man.
All right.
Toxic Masculinity
I
Podcast.
enjoyed myself.
Check into it, man. That's the homie right there. We want to thank you all for checking in. To our white viewers out there, it's not we hate y'all, man. We just trying to figure us out, man.
We love everyone.
We want to
Three
thank.
white people watching this on YouTube right now. They're laughing. Right.
We want to thank. We got to thank our man for showing up here. And then last but not least, this.
Money boy, trade. Money boy, trade. Private jet flights overseas, damn pieces coming by the